Welcome to this office hours session. My name is Chris Condi, and I am the Product Support Coordinator for Earthsoft. Today, I'm going to talk about EQuiS Online FAQs. The agenda for today is as follows. How is my data secured? The role of the point of contact, options to access my data, software upgrades, benefits of EQuiS Online, and to conclude, training options. This slide shows from a high level the EQuiS network architecture. These two icons represent computers within your company or corporate network. This icon here represents your corporate firewall. On the right side, this represents the Azure network. This icon represents your SQL Server database. This icon represents the app service and web app that's used to communicate with your SQL database when transmitting data over the web application, EQuiS Enterprise. And then this arrow represents the internal Azure traffic. These arrows in between represent the traffic, your EQuiS data traffic, that is being transmitted between your corporate network and the Azure network and back and forth. This information tells us the protocol or the channel for which the data is transmitting over the internet. So in this case, when you're connecting using EQuiS Professional, that data is transmitted via TCP/IP. When you're using an application level security account, which allows you to log in using your EQuiS Enterprise account into EQuiS Professional to your SQL Server database, that travels over the HTTP protocol, as well as when you connect just using EQuiS Enterprise, that also travels over HTTP. All three connections, as we will discuss a little further, are connect and are secured using SSL technology. So firewall security allows a corporation to protect its environment, its network environment, from unwanted traffic. It allows connections that are secured using the SSL encryption technology. It allows for individual credentials and logins. It allows for traffic to be limited to only those IP addresses or computers that a corporation may or may want to connect to their network. So a firewall is really used to allow only traffic, network traffic, internet traffic to be allowed to be distributed on a network when it's wanted and where it's wanted. And it's also to help prevent unwanted traffic, network traffic on that network. The Microsoft Azure network is powered by a global network of Microsoft managed data centers. All these data centers meet or exceed industry standards for availability and reliability. These data centers are available for data transmission 365 days per year, 24 hours a day. The only exception to this is if there's regular scheduled maintenance or unexpected outages. In both of these cases, Earthsoft, we would communicate with your point of contact and to let you know of either scheduled maintenance, or if it's unexpected outages, we would give you a time frame as to when service will be restored and when you can access your EQuiS data. So let's talk about database backups. First, once Earthsoft has created your database in the Microsoft Azure platform, a backup is generated automatically. The Azure environment allows us to provide what we call geo-redundant storage for geo-redundancy. What that means is that if your data is stored in a location in the northeast part of the United States, then a copy of your backup can be stored in a different location or Azure environment within the United States. It's not within the Northeast region. It could be in the Southwest region or on the West Coast. So it gives us off-site backup capability. These backups are included at no additional charge with your EQuIS Online subscription. So what is a SQL Server database backup? Well, there's three different types of backups. There's a full backup, a differential backup, and a transaction log backup. A full backup occurs every week, meaning that your database is completely backed up in its entirety once a week. And that backup is stored up to 35 days after it's completed. A differential backup occurs several times a day every few hours. So that way, a differential backup allows your most recent transactions or data submissions to be saved throughout the day many times. So it's another layer of backup that doesn't take as long to complete as a full backup, but ensures that you have the latest transactions in your database and that they're stored and that they're saved properly. And then a transaction log backup occurs every 5 to 10 minutes because they're very small. It's a very small backup, and therefore it doesn't take very long to complete. Basically, a typical full backup would maybe take 30 minutes or less. It depends on the size of the database. The larger databases could take closer to 30 minutes. There are some databases that could take longer than 30 minutes, but most databases on average will take far less than 30 minutes. Again, the retention period for these backups are set for 35 days. So that gives, if something is done and it's 2 weeks out since that transaction or that incident occurred and we need to go back, then we can go back 14 days or 15 days or up to 35 days and restore a backup to that period of time so that we can provide you with the database that you need to proceed with your EQuIS work. So let's talk about the role of a point of contact. The point of contact will be determined upon the purchase of EQuIS software or the agreement of an EQuIS Online subscription. The point of contact authorizes Earsoft to access your database and or your enterprise website. And that database we need permission on how you want us to access it with specifics on what it is that you want us to look at or fix. So that can be either through EQuIS Professional or it's through using SQL Server itself and our connection on the back end, or through EQuIS Enterprise if we're looking at performance issues. If you want SQL Server accounts, the point of contact must authorize that as well. The point of contact authorizes a request of a copy of a backup, adding or removing licensing from your subscription, or to modify, whether that's add or delete contact information of other individuals. So now let's talk about the benefits that you as an Earsoft customer receive for your software maintenance fee, as well as having Earsoft host your EQuIS database. First, Earsoft operates an extensive and well-trained support team dedicated to client satisfaction. As part of your annual software maintenance agreement, clients are provided with the following benefits. Now, a note before we move on to the next slide: if you're an EQuIS Online customer, your software maintenance fee is paid with the same payment schedule that you are paying for your subscription. So if you're using a monthly subscription, then your software maintenance fee is broken up into 12 equal payments and you pay that each month. Same with quarterly, it would be divided into 4. And if you do annual payments, you would pay it up front. So the benefits are as follows. You receive product technical support by email, phone, or online meetings with Earsoft customer support staff. You have access to a hosted, no-charge, non-production sandbox environment for internal testing and training. The other great benefit of this sandbox is that when Earsoft releases a new version of EQuIS, we can use this sandbox to update and you can test that new version of EQuIS on the sandbox prior to having your production database upgraded to the new release. You get major EQuIS software versions released annually, plus service packs that may be released quarterly or as needed. Escalation procedures and access to Airsoft software technologists and developers for difficult issues. Free personal use licenses for temporary or non-production use for travel, training, testing, and so on. And you get access to the Airsoft Community Center with online discussion forums, online documentation, the EQuIS Academy Library, the Data Dictionary, office hours, EQuIS Academy, and other support information. So there's a lot of benefits that we are trying to provide you, our customer, so that you can have the best EQuIS experience. Lastly, let's go over some additional training options that are available to you as an EQuIS customer. These are additional on-demand trainings that will be made available that are part of the So You Have Purchased EQuIS, Now What series. As you can see, in addition to the session that we had today on EQuIS Online FAQs, and there will be a session on training and Airsoft community resources, get going with EQuIS Professional, the basics, setting up new projects in EQuIS, contemplating data management in EQuIS, and then lastly, EQuIS organization and administration, which will be done by guest presenter Dan Eaton of the New York State DEC. I'd like to thank you for participating in this office hour session. So you've purchased EQuIS What Now series, and like to encourage you to visit community.airsoft.com for additional information, or you can visit our YouTube channel at youtube.com/user/airsoft. In addition, if you have further questions, please feel free to send us an email at officehours@airsoft.com. And also a reminder that we will see the questions if you put them into the question pane on the GoToWebinar as it's displayed earlier in this presentation. Again, I'd like to thank you for your participation today and for your support of EQuIS.